Welcome to this week's episode of Those Two Guys Talk Disney. I'm Justin Vaughn, joined by Jay Gibson.
What up?
This week we're actually talking about the 2016 remake of Pete's Dragon. Originally, when I was telling Jay we were going to do this one, I put live action, and Jay goes, "You do know they're both live action, right? But one's more animated, Jay."
I know. Different time periods, bro.
I really should write on like what anniversary it is, and I'm just an idiot and I didn't think about it. Oh, it's 10 years. I don't know why I couldn't think
Yeah, I was
figure
saying
that
2016. 2016.
out. Yeah, don't ask me
As
why.
soon as
I
I
couldn't
moved my
figure that
hand and saw the 2016 again, I was like, okay.
out. Yeah, don't ask. Alright, synopsis for this movie. Mr. Meacham is a woodcarver Mr. Meacham, a woodcarver, delights local children with stories of a mysterious dragon that lives deep in the woods of the Pacific Northwest. His daughter Grace believes these are just tall tales until she meets Pete, a 10-year-old orphan who says he lives in the woods with a giant friendly dragon. With help from a young girl named Natalie, Grace sets out to investigate if this fantastic claim can be true. First thoughts on this movie, Jay?
I thought it was good. I mean, it's not going to beat the original for me, but I thought it was still a really good movie.
You know, and the thing is, I actually think I like this one a little bit more than the original.
I really like that you have more of a backstory into Pete on this one.
Yes.
Where, like, the original, you don't really know why he's with this foster family. You just see him run away from it. But this one, you actually know why he's...
You know why he's an orphan.
By himself.
I actually think I like this one a little more. But I think part of that is just how clowny some of the other people is in the original. Like his foster family, very clowny. Or like the doctor, very clowny. Like nothing goes right kind of thing. It's very clowny. This one's not as, it doesn't have as many clowny people.
No, this one's everybody's more serious, not like goof off kind of people.
And the difference between these two is, in the original, it was a fishing village. This one, it is a logging town. And I believe in the original it was Maine, and this one's the Pacific Northwest.
This movie was released in August, which is my birth month.
Yeah. August 12th, 2026, or
2016.
2016. Had a budget of $65 million. A box office, it grossed $143.7 million.
Not too bad,
It made double the money. So.
Got a 6.7 out of 10 on the IMDb. 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. It made up that pretty decent.
And 3.1 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Filmed. Live action filming locations included Bay of Plenty, Tapo, and Wellington, while CGI was done at Stone Street Studios. Shooting took place in and around Wellington and Rotorua, I don't know, I can't actually say it, before transferring to Tapanui, where the old Blue Mountain lumber mill was used as the mill in the film.
We definitely
Main
not good at pronouncing names.
Became Mill Haven for 2 weeks. So this is actually filmed here. I believe it's actually filmed in Australia.
I say we definitely are not good at pronouncing names.
No.
We apologize.
The cast: Bryce Dallas Howard. That's not Bryson. I don't know how to say her name.
Grace.
It's Grace. Grace Meacham, a forest ranger and Jack's girlfriend, later second wife.
I tried to wrote Bryce Dallas Howard, but I don't know what's actually out of Bryce.
Yeah, I don't know.
Grace, maybe? I don't know.
Oaks Fagley as Pete Healy, a young orphan who lives in the forest with a dragon named Elliot. I do like how they kept the dragon's name the same. Levy Alexander as 4-year-old Pete.
They kept the dragon's name the same and the little boy's name the same.
Yeah.
Pete and Elliot.
Well, kind of need to keep the boy's name the same. It is Pete's Dragon. Wes Bentley as Jake Magaray, a widowed lumber mill owner who is Natalie's widowed father, Gavin's brother, and Grace's boyfriend, later husband. You know who else he plays? It's actually in a TV show. He is actually one of the sons of John Dutton in Yellowstone.
Nice.
His least favorite son.
Nice.
Carl Urban has Gavin Magary, a hunter and lumberjack who is Jack's brother and Natalie's uncle. Una Lawrence as Natalie Magary, Jack's daughter and Gavin's niece. Isaiah Whitlock Jr. as Sheriff Gene Dentler. Robert Redford as Conrad Meacham, Grace's widowed father who has been telling stories about the dragon. Marcus Henderson as Woodrow, a lumberjack and one of Gavin's men. Gotta change my page here before I end my notes.
And what guy were you talking about that was in Yellowstone?
Wes Bentley.
Wes Bentley. Okay. I was like, which guy are you talking about?
Aaron Jackson as Abner, a lumberjack and one of Gavin's men. Phil Grieve as Bobby, a lumberjack and one of Gavin's men. Jim Nicolarty as Ranger Wentworth as forest ranger and co-worker of Grace.
I didn't recognize him from Yellowstone, but now I know why I recognized him.
Yeah? Why?
Ghost Rider and the Hunger Games.
Oh, yeah. I forgot he was in Ghost Rider.
Well, I was scrolling over, and I seen that, and I was like, wait a minute. So then I went to go see that movie he was in, and then I'm like, oh, now I know why I recognize that guy. I was like, I knew I recognized him, I couldn't remember where. Because I never actually watched Yellowstone, but yeah, Ghost Rider and Hunger Games is why I recognized him.
Ian Harcourt, as Deputy West, a deputy who works for Sheriff Dentler. Steve Barr as Deputy Smalls, a deputy who works for Sheriff Dentler. John Kessler as the vocal effects for Elliot. Runtime was 103 minutes. That's all my notes.
Yeah, I didn't have very many either.
I just kind of ran through all that really fast. Because, I mean, for this movie, it actually does have a decent-sized cast.
Yeah.
Not just a ton of background actors, which it does have, but it actually has a decent-sized cast itself. This movie actually starts out as a story being told by Grace's father about a dragon in the woods, just like it says. It does start out that way.
Yep.
And he actually does bring up a really good point. If you're always looking at just what's in front of you, and you don't keep an open mind, you're gonna miss a lot of life. He actually 100% valid point. Definitely giving him that because, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Then you actually get clips of Pete when he's 4. He's driving with his parents, and then there's an accident, and he makes it out. I don't think you realize at this point his parents did not make it out. But you just see him standing in the road. This part of the movie is kind of sad. And he is then chased by a pack of wolves. and he runs into the woods, and all of a sudden you hear the crash, and though you gotta give this boy some credit though, being 4, like not knowing what to do. And
the fact
you
that
have a pack of wolves chasing you,
and the fact that he survived, not only just surviving, but thriving out there in the woods for what, 6 years?
yeah. I'm just saying, like,
Dang.
But 4 years old, he runs from a pack of wolves. Luckily, yes, he found Elliot. But the fact that he had to run from these wolves and was like holding his backpack in front of him, like he kept like circling around, trying to make sure none of them were getting him from behind, kind of thing. Like, he was pretty smart. I gotta give him credit, because even kids older than him wouldn't necessarily know.
No. Go north with wings on your feet. Go north with the wind where the rivers meet. There's a clearing of sorts in a circle of trees, where wild constellations shine 1, 2, and 3. Look all around you and see, deep in the forest those dragons will be. They come from the earth, yes, they come from the stone. The icy cold north, that's where they call home. Oh, where the mountain kisses the sea. Better be brave, far braver than me. Look all around you and see, deep in the forest the dragons will be. It's a heck of a song.
Yeah,
And like, apparently, like, her dad used to sing it to her. And then she sang it to her daughter, apparently, or her dad did, because her daughter knew it, and sang it to him, sang it to Elliot. And he was talking about, showed a picture that they drew of Elliot. Or Pete showed her the picture he drew of Elliot. It's crazy. Yeah, like most kids his age would have been scared.
And I'm sure he was scared, but I think it helped that, he ended up running into Elliot, and then Elliot, like, made him understand, like, he's not there to attack him or anything, and just, like...
I know, I'm talking about with the wolves.
Yeah.
Most kids would have been terrified. They wouldn't have known to, like, keep your head on a swivel, make sure they were attacking from all directions, like... They would have freaked out and made mauling and curl up in a ball, like,
Yep.
That's one smart kid, man.
But he actually does run into Elliot. Elliot actually comes, saves him. And he drops his backpack, and Elliot, like, scoots it to him with his with just his little claw. That way he understands he's not going to hurt him. Then again, this is where it flashes forward, because, like, you see that he's 4. The next scene you see him in, he's 10, and he basically turned his clothes into, well, it's not pants, but loincloth.
Yeah, it was like Tarzan.
Yeah. But they actually go all the way around. This is where you actually find out, though, he's literally been living in the woods for 6 years with Elliot. Well, you don't find out he's been living there 6 years yet, but you can tell the time difference.
Yeah.
So you know he's been living there. You just
Yeah, they've been living there for a while. You just don't exactly know how long.
yeah.
Elliot's got that big old den underneath that tree.
Yeah, that's a perfect den, dude. It really is.
Tree. You dug up underneath that tree.
But he actually it ends up working out pretty good for him. It really does. But like Pete hears like something happening, and he goes to investigate it, and it's them chopping lumber down, chopping trees down.
The log company out there, logging, cutting down the logs. Timber!
Then it's funny because, like, okay, so I was actually watching this today, and Jay actually showed up here while I was watching it. This is actually the part where he came in at.
Yeah.
They actually, so he was looking, well, Jack and Natalie show up, and she gets out of the truck trying to get her dad to, hey, I gotta go to school. Well, she starts walking around, and she sees a boy. So she runs after him. He's actually hiding. You do realize he legit like smacked his legs to get her attention and then ran. It's like he intentionally done that. And then he ran up a tree. Started climbing this tree really high. And she follows him. Now, a couple questions here. One, why was nobody paying attention to her? And two, how do you not just walk through the woods ahead of schedule? Just to see what you're doing that
Like I
day.
said, her mom was a ranger or whatever, been walking these,
Stepmom.
whatever she is. They've been taking care of these woods for years as a ranger and protect all the animals and stuff in it, and she's never seen this kid or this dragon in this woods this entire time. And she's supposedly been working in these woods.
One kid you may actually be able to hide, especially when they get really good at it. They may be able to hide from them, and obviously Elliot can turn invisible, so it makes sense why she'd never seen him.
I don't know if he necessarily goes invisible or it's just camouflage.
I don't know.
You know, like a that lizard that like just changes colors and like.
Chameleon.
Yeah, like I think that's what I think it is. Watching it, it kind of looks like he just in a new one anyway. It just looks more like he blends in with the surroundings.
That is true. I don't know.
I don't know if it's that or if he just goes invisible, but
I don't know how that one works.
either way, you can't still see him.
No. But how's nobody, like, they know this girl is with them. How are they not paying attention to this girl? But she climbs this tree, a couple of branches break, like she's like dangling. Pete actually comes down to try to save her.
He catches her, but then his hand slips.
And then the branch actually breaks.
Yeah.
But he does slow them down enough that she doesn't get hurt, which is good.
When the adults finally do catch up to her, they ask her what she's doing. She said, I followed him.
She goes, climbing a tree. He goes, why are you climbing a tree? She goes, following him. And then he actually tries to run. This is where I want to make sure Gavin Gavin. This is where he kind of, you start seeing the maybe he's just not right kind of thing. Well, one of the instances. Before that, it was literally somebody asked him, is this what Jack wants? And he said, don't worry about Jack. I'm in charge here.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Like, you can tell at that point he's kind of jealous of his brother's the one that technically owns the logging company. And he's just an employee.
But he actually grabs Pete out of the tree, pulls him down, makes him hit his head. Why is this dude not in handcuffs? Like, for real.
Yeah.
And then they get Pete, you assume they get Pete to the hospital. You don't actually see that part because he's knocked out. But he wakes up and he's actually experiencing a dream of his mom waking him up in a tent.
Yeah.
But then he wakes up in the hospital and naturally he freaks out. This isn't where he should be.
Acts like he's never seen a balloon before.
This is actually a question me and Jay had when we were actually watching it. It was like, now, I know he's been alone for a long time, but the way he acted with the balloon was like, did he never see a balloon the first 4 years of his life?
Like, he was 4. You would have thought he would have had to have seen a balloon at a birthday or something.
Yeah.
I don't. The only thing I think is maybe they're trying to get like he's been alone so long that he forgot what this stuff is. I don't know.
and I can get that actually. I mean, 6 years is a really long time to be alone.
Yeah.
It is. 100% agree, that's a super long time to be alone. But the fact still remains, you know, how did he not remember anything?
Well, and who's to say he didn't end up with a concussion?
True.
Car accident.
True.
It caused him some memory issues because he never actually got checked out or anything. He did,
Or that fall from when he got yanked out of the tree.
you know, been out in his woods this whole time. Never had any medical attention or anything after that car accident.
Yeah, because he went missing. This is actually a pretty funny part here, though, because, like, you see Grace out in the hallway talking. Sorry, my knee was starting to hurt. I'm not trying to, like, kick you, but I was. But Grace is out in the hallway. She's talking to the police and the doctors and everything. They're trying to discuss Pete. And Natalie walks up and she asks about Pete, and Grace says, well, he's in that room. And Natalie just kind of strolls on up, opens the door. She goes, he's gone.
He's not in there. Like, what do you mean? He's like, oh, he's gone?
Like, he jumped out the window. He ran. You gotta give the kid credit, man. He was trying to find where he needed to go. Like, he was trying to get high enough he could see where he needed to go.
He ran a little ways to that town, too.
Yeah, until he got stuck by a really high wall.
They tried to dart down that, like, alleyway or whatever, and there's nothing but a big old wooden wall right there.
But Grace takes him home with her. But in the meantime, Gavin and his little crew homies go out to the woods.
We're going hunting.
To shoot Elliot. They knew something, they just weren't sure what.
There's something out there. You know what? Because after they take Elliot back into town and stuff, they're down there back at the logging site. Elliot comes out of his den looking to try to find Pete. You know, he's on that tree, ends up knocking the tree over.
Yeah.
And it takes off, and they can see the tree moving, so they know something's out there, so they decide they're going to go hunting. Try to catch whatever it is. Just didn't know what it was yet.
But Elliot actually, like, defends himself pretty good that night. Breaks dude's gun, bends it, so he can't ever use it again.
He missed that gun. Oh,
Yeah, he did.
and sneezed on him.
Yeah, then sneezed on him, and dude freaks out and jumps in the truck. Well, then you have Pete with Grace and Jake and Natalie. He's clean, but they're like trying to like work to figure out who he actually is and where he came from and who his parents are, so they can get parents called. I think Grace gets the sad call of his parents are dead.
He'd been missing for like 6 years.
They found the car after the wreck and he was missing.
And that should have to turn him over to social services first thing tomorrow morning.
Well, she starts actually talking to him finally, and we realize that he had drawn a picture of Elliot.
His friend Elliot said to him, well, she recognized the picture because of a picture her dad had drawn years ago that looked almost the same. Which is really neat to find out that apparently her dad had seen Elliot like years ago. So apparently Elliot's just been living out there in the woods for who knows how long.
Was it Elliot though?
And never been seen. Yeah, it's the same thing.
So I mean, was it though? Because at the end he flies up and there's like 4 of them.
Yeah, but it was Elliot because when they go with him, he's like, "Hi, old friend." Same dragon because it's the same woods. There ain't never been another one in the woods. Just Elliot's been the only dragon in that woods. So he flies off.
And he they go back out with Pete, and they try to figure out where he's been living at and all that kind of stuff. And he actually does show them. And then, of course, Gavin,
he goes down into the little hole, and then he comes back out. He's like, shh, and then you see Elliot behind him.
Yeah.
It's all good until Gavin decided to show up.
Yeah, then start shooting tranks into him.
Then they basically try to hang him. Yeah, like threw a freaking rope over that thing around his neck, and like literally, looked like you're hanging him. I was like, good lord, like what is going on here?
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't.
Of course, Pete's yelling the whole time, stop, stop, stop.
He's also yelling, fly, Elliot, fly!
I end up grabbing a stick and starts beating Gavin with a stick.
How about him, man? He's protecting his dragon.
Elliot tries to fly, but they've already got him shot with so much tranquilizer that the tranquilizer starts taking over and just crashing back down.
Yeah.
In the process of trying to get all these people off him, he spins around and ends up knocking Natalie over with his tail.
And then you always got to have him knock at least one person over. That's kind of a given.
But none of that would have happened if Gavin went to freaking show up with all his buddies and their guns and started shooting.
Yeah. Like, I understand you want to be famous and all, but why you gotta mess with somebody else's stuff? Like, that's clearly Pete's dragon, Elliot. Leave him alone. Find your own dragon. I know this whole thing is, I just want to be famous.
We want the money, all about that money. He could charge money. People pay millions to come see this fly dragon.
But then Elliot wouldn't have been taken care of.
Well, no, because he would have just kept him chained up and probably wouldn't have fed him properly or any of that.
Not that you ever see him actually eat in this movie.
But obviously him and Pete ate.
Obviously, because he kept him alive.
Obviously didn't starve.
No, that's my train of thought. That's always nice.
But they end up, next thing you know, you see him tied on the back of a flatbed semi going down the road.
Yeah, back into town.
Back to the sawmill. Although I do like what he says when he gets to the sawmill in house. He's like, what, ain't none of y'all never seen a dragon before? Then they pull him into that, like, by the shed or whatever and lock him in there. Meanwhile, Pete and Natalie are stuck in another building in the office.
Hey, mess with your cord real quick. Okay. I want to double check it was you, not me.
It was me.
Yeah, actually, we actually talked about this too when we were watching it. That girl is so smart.
Yeah, they sneak out of the office and they sneak into it where Elliot is, and then she grabs a board and slides it into the lock so nobody can get it back in there.
That's what I mean, this girl is so freaking smart. And so is Pete though, because Pete was actually popping those things.
Starts popping the lockdowns off.
They hide in the truck when they finally break in. Elliot goes invisible so they can't see him. You have the two kids hiding in the truck. Grace walks in, realizes they're in the truck.
Everybody else thinks they escape and starts walking out, and Grace turns on and starts looking, and then you kind of see the shimmer of the dragon.
Yeah.
And then you see them two kind of pop up, go. Looking around, and she just smiles and kind of walks out and shuts the door.
So she just kind of says, you know what? You're good. You do what you need to do.
Goes get her boyfriend. She's like, hey, the dragon's still in there. We got to help him.
And starts the chase.
Well, then the kids are in there getting ready to jack the truck. They got to drive it.
They're trying to figure out how to drive the truck.
Now he's like, my dad's truck don't have this many knobs. And their grandpa opened the door.
And basically tells them, hey, get out of the way.
But Pete was like, wait. So Pete didn't trust him at first. And he's like, look, I don't want to hurt your friend. I just want to help him. So this guy's like, get in. Let's go.
And he does drive it.
He drives it right through the back wall.
Unfortunately, he does blow a brake line.
He plows right through that back wall and just goes.
And I know, I like his little thing. Oh, I thought it was in reverse. So you're just gonna back out of the building and hit a bunch of people?
Okay. But they get going, trying to get out of there, and of course, you see everybody piling in the vehicle chasing after. And you see Gavin come flying up in his truck. Just flying past everybody, trying to get him to pull over, and then goes flying up and tries to stop in front of him, but by this time, the brake lines are broke, he can't stop. He's up plowing through Gavin's truck. Just stopped on the other side of the bridge. And this is the one and only time you ever see Elliot breathe fire.
Yes.
He jumps on top of the bridge and starts breathing fire, like, insane.
Well, because he's just really trying to protect Pete.
Yeah.
The problem is he shoots fire at Grace and Jack, who literally has not done anything wrong.
Well, he was doing it because he was just trying to stop all the cars behind him. I don't think he was necessarily trying to get them, but they just happened to be the front of the line.
But it almost sends them into the river.
The brother, the guy jumps on the back of the truck trying to save him. But then more of the street brakes and start going anyway, and then you see Elliot grab him, which I don't understand when he grabs him, why he doesn't just give a nice push back.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't think it would have mattered because so much of that bridge collapsed.
And then you see it collapse, and they go down, and Elliot goes down, and people start to cry, like, oh no, and then all of a sudden, here comes Elliot with Grayson and Herbert on the back. Or the boyfriend, or whatever he was at the time. Gavin's brother, I guess, but...
Yeah. But he does save him, so gotta give him that credit.
It's really cool though when you see Grace like pet Pete or Elliot when he's in that building. Like you see his fur all of a sudden become like real vibrant green again.
I know, honestly, I would much rather see him as the bright green.
And not dull anymore. It's like, what?
Yeah. But he does escape, and he disappears.
You see Pete jump on his back and they fly off.
And Pete does say, "Look, I know you gotta go."
He's like, you can't stay here. Just they'll know you're here. They'll come looking for you.
So he does convince him to leave. And is this where they flash forward a little bit?
He drops Pete off back at Grace's, and then he takes off. And then it's like, I don't know how much further it is, because then Pete's got short hair, and he's got Grace's.
Honestly, it feels like about a year. Honestly,
I'm
it feels about a year.
for at least a year, if not two.
Because Grace and Jack are now married. Elliot looks healthier, or not Elliot, Pete looks healthier than he ever has.
His hair all cut short.
Yes.
He looks a little taller, and he's now wearing Grace's compass.
Well, then they're going on a trip, and he finds Elliot.
Well, they go to where the dragons are supposed to be. They go north to the mountains where they're supposed to be.
And he does find Elliot and three other dragons.
Apparently Elliot has a family now.
Yeah. So, yeah. Overall, it's a really good movie. I understand why I scored so high. Because I would honestly score this movie that high.
As much as I love the original, I do really like this one. Like I like the fact that you have more of a backstory on Pete.
Exactly.
You understand why he's by himself. You know, I like that there is a connection there with her dad. Her dad apparently had seen the dragon years ago.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a backstory on the dragons. It's not just a random boy and a random dragon just show up out of nowhere, you know, like what? There's actually a backstory for the dragon.
Or in like the original, he was riding on the back of him, but it was invisible.
Well, yeah, in the original it starts Pete's running away from his family, and then Elliot's just there. Yeah, already with him. It's like, what? Like this one, you actually get a backstory on both of them, really, because You know, why Pete's by himself and why Pete ends up in the woods, the forest. And you hear about how Elliot ended up there in a way, because it talks about how the dragon from the north ended up in the woods and has been living in the woods for all these years, and nobody's ever seen it. So you get a backstory on both of them, on how they actually ended up there and ended up meeting, which is really nice.
Alright. Now, question. What would you rate this movie?
I'd give it probably a good fucking...
Hey, that's the only one that we've had, so that's pretty good.
I'd probably give it a good solid 7.5, 8, 8.5.
I could go a very solid 7 on this movie. It's a very good movie. It draws you right in. It keeps you there.
So it does give you that nice backstory that makes it hopeful. It gives you a little more info on the people and not just, oh, these are the characters you gotta know. Boom, there they are.
The other big difference between this movie and the original is this one was not a musical.
No, nowhere near, no.
Because when Walt Disney started releasing movies way back then, everything was a musical.
Yeah.
Which actually our next few non-musicals.
And I would say this one was more modern
Yes.
day, but
And the animation was pretty good. So that was kind of my
I
thought.
agree with you though. I think they should have made Elliot more scaly, not furry.
He should have been furry. However, I kind of understand why they did it, because they had to have a way for Pete to live in the woods. And, yeah, where Elliot can, create fire, maybe it's a little harder for him to do, kind of thing.
Well, that and the fur would make it a little bit easier to blend in the woods too.
Yeah. But
Scales.
it also keep Pete warm.
I know, but what I'm saying, like, if you're scaly with the fur, you can make it look more, the camouflage look more like the trees and leaves.
That is true.
Scales.
That is true. I will give you that.
So, I mean, I get it why they did it, but I think it would have been cooler if he would have been more of a scalier style dragon, but it was still a pretty cool looking dragon.
Yeah, no, they did an amazing job on the CGI in this movie.
Broken tooth and all. I wish we would have a little more information as to why the one tooth was broke, though. That would be cool.
Yeah, honestly, you kind of need a prequel to this movie.
Because you don't really understand why you had the one broken fang there, but...
Like I said, you kind of need a prequel to this movie. You need just an Elliot.
You need just a little bit more backstory and Elliot would be nice.
Yeah.
Other than he's a dragon that traveled down from the north and ended up in the woods and been living ever since, but... It would be nice to have just a little bit more backstory information on him, but...
Well, when this episode comes out, we will actually just be getting back from Florida, me and my wife. You've heard me mention her on here before, because she is the one that decorated this studio here. Even though behind me all you see is the curtains, but still, everything else they're the one that decorated everything. So.
Heck yeah.
But me and her are actually going to Florida for our anniversary.
Yeah, they are.
We're not. Oh, technically, by the time this comes out, we went to Florida.
Yeah.
Went to Universal.
They'll just be getting back.
And yeah, this will actually be the week following or getting back. Me and Jay actually record 2 of these at a time. And we don't have to record all of the time. Which kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
At least to me it does. I've been driving for Spark, just trying to make the extra money to pay for everything.
Made for some good exercise for me.
Yeah, actually Jay goes with me on Spark, and like we cover some ground. I'm hoping I can go back out and it not rain.
Oh man. So hot and muggy. Ugh. Icky.
Oh, it ain't supposed to rain again until 11 o'clock tonight. Thank God.
So icky.
I'm running a little behind here. I should have already been out on deliveries again. It's now almost 5:30.
Dang. Yeah, let's get this wrapped up, man.
Yep, we'll be back with you guys next week.